Hello and welcome to the Dano Sano channel. I wanted to try the eSword tutorial again because the last time it's been a long time and I kind of forgot how I got started. And anyway, eSword.net. It's actually e-sword.net. I use OpenDNS on my router for a domain name server as opposed to like Charters or Google's or whoever. And it blocks, by default, it blocks sites that you don't want to go to by accident. So anyway, e-sword.net. So it'll block dirty sites and scam sites and stuff like that. You can detect, rather choose what types of sites it'll block. But by default, it's kind of a low-level block. It just blocks the worst of the worst, and everything else you can go to. I've never had any trouble. Like I can go to stick fighting. If I search for stick fighting, I should be able to find some stick fighting. So it's, it doesn't really block you too much. Anyway, eSword. Latest version is 11.0.6. I have 11.0.6. So eSword is given freely to all. It is illegal to sell copies. Please report any violation. So this is free. Rick Myers is a programmer, and he's just he said that God has blessed him, and he's being generous with us as God has been generous with him. Matthew 24 is where we are. So to start, you want to find the place in the Bible you want to go to. Here are all the books. If you right click a book, it'll take you to chapter 1 verse 1. If you right click a chapter, it'll take you to that chapter verse 1. And of course, if you rather click a book and a chapter and a verse, it'll take you to that verse. So from there, that's the Bible. Commentary. These are all your commentaries. Dictionaries. These are editors, personal editors. And these are all of them together. So first off, you got your Bible here. And you got your editors, commentaries, and dictionaries. I think the default for eSword is something like this, with a dictionary over here. Commentary is on the bottom, with the personal editors on the bottom right, so that you have something like this: Bible, dictionary, commentary, editor. There's supposed to be hundreds of different options, ways of setting this up. Obviously, you can have the editor to be on the top right, bottom, or left of this, or totally on the top, or the top right, bottom, left of this left pane, and so on and so forth. I like to keep the Bible on top, everything else on the bottom, but I like it all to be together on the bottom. So here are 3 different ones. If you take, say, your editor and put it, instead of down here or on any of these directionals, you put it right in the middle with those 2 tabs right there, it'll combine the tabs. And the same here. Put it right in the middle there. See my mouse in the middle? Let go, and you got all these in one convenient place, and then the Bible on top. So we'll start with the Bible here. Well, here, let's say. So these are all your Bibles. If you go to Tools and or Options and Resource, you can turn off some of the Bibles. commentaries. If you check them off, they will not show up here. I keep them all on. I pretty much am used to where they are. I don't use them all, obviously, but every now I like having them there. Here's a parallel. This will give you. I got the ESV and the NASB, the Greek New Testament. You can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, and read them all side by side. Each verse, Ephesians 4, chapter 1, 2, 3, 3, there. Probably more likely have this something like the Textus Receptus with numbers and parsing info, so you can measure well. And then this would probably be NASB plus. So then grace here. So I'm going to find, that's weird. Anyway, where was it? I lost it. Let's pick another word. Given. Grace. I found it. That's weird. 5485. Grace. Find 5485 over here. Yeah. Charis. You can hover, and then if you hover here, you get the grammar, the Greek grammar. That's the same as if you click this, your dictionary, the Robinson's morphological analysis codes will come up, but you get the same information just by hovering. So where did it? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Same information. As opposed to all this, of course, you could just be reading the ESV chapter 6 and you see grace. You click it, go to the NASB plus to get the strong number. You're already on the verse because you clicked it. This highlighted as the active verse, 5485. Then you would go to your Greek with numbers 5485. It's here somewhere on verse 7. Charis. Here it is. 5485 right there. So here's the word, and then the grammar, the Greek grammar codes. So that was parallel that we just kind of got off on the rabbit trail. Sorry. And compare. This will compare all versions. Although this version and some verses, the verses are so long, the table will not return at the end of the screen and go down to the next line like this does. So the table just runs off. That's a problem. But this is the interlinear is the only one that does that. Anyway, you can see that you can read all the versions here in line. So we'll kind of stay here maybe. Most of these are free. I think I paid for the ESV. You may have to pay for the Message now. The NASB I think I paid for, and the NLT. The rest of these were free, I think. All the Greek Bibles were free. I didn't buy any of those. The Hebrew Bibles were free. And King James. And this may have come with, all these three may have come together. The New American Standard. I don't remember exactly. So you're reading along in the Bible, and you're on verse 7, and you've got your commentaries down here. So each commentary that has information either on verse 7 or on a range of verses that includes verse 7 is going to have this little I symbol or icon here for information. This one doesn't have an entry, but all these others do. So let's go to verse 11. And you see that this one has an entry for verse 11. This one has an entry for verses 1 through 16. The little link icon keeps you linked with the verse you're on, keeps the commentary linked with the verse that you're on. If you turn that off, you could go to Romans and you're still in Ephesians. But if you leave that on, then it'll stay with Romans 1. And then if we go to Matthew, it'll go with us, and that's what I keep mine on. Previous reference, next reference, which is the one you just came from. Click in the middle, and you can choose. Just see your history down to, looks like it keeps about. Oh, we went to the beginning, so it doesn't have any history anymore. So now, so you're reading along. We've already seen how the commentaries that have entries for what you're reading have the little I symbol. You can read those, and then you can click. The default is the verse comments. For any of these, you can click the chapter comments. So that's, if you had the commentary in your hand, that would be the very first part of the chapter. Before it started commenting on each verse, it would have like a comments on chapter 24, contents, characters, conclusion here, keywords, etc. And then the book comments. So before it starts chapter 1 in the book, the hardback, it would have an introduction to the book, and those are the book comments. Chapter comments, verse comments are the default. Same with the dictionary, with the I icon. So if I click on deliver, each dictionary that has an entry for the word deliver will have the icon there, and you can click it and read it. Nations. Some of these may have nation and not nations, so I'm going to try that. I've seen sometimes that they have the plural versions of words. More dictionaries will have it. Well, I don't see anything there. But anyway, hated. Now here, let's try to just, Webster's so big that it takes a long time to come up. Let's just try hate. Let's see if that has more. Yeah. So you have to kind of keep an eye out for that sometimes. If you clicked on hated here, you wouldn't get all these entries. So there we have the dictionary, the commentaries dictionary. The editors are personalized. Your journals, your journal entries for each day of the calendar year and years. Study notes are, and topic notes. Topic notes are a topic in times, and then you can have, we're going to do Daniel eventually, and then and Ezekiel. We're going to make a new one, and then Revelation. I don't want to misspell Ezekiel in front of all the YouTube world, so I'll misspell Revelation instead. And you can click one and rename it if you want to. Anyway, and then you can have multiples of these. If you press Control and right click right down here, you can make a new one, and then you can have like another topic index of like salvation or the blood of Christ, and then you could have multiple headers under here. So you think about it like this is the book and these are the chapters, and you can have multiple books down here by clicking, pressing the control key, and right clicking in this general area above the book, so to speak. Then you can also, so these are personal. We'll go over that in another time. But commentaries and dictionaries and the Bible. So let's say commentary, and if you're on Matthew 24:33, you can read the commentary, that people have put. I like Adam Clark. Why isn't he commenting on Matthew though? And then, so if you want to see what Clark has to say, or Darby, or these guys, about a particular subject, you could click the search commentary, searching Clark. You can search any of the commentaries that you have. The blood of Christ. Boy, who's typing here? And then click the search button. And you can search if you're using more than one. Well, anyway, stay on track here. So each book, Genesis 9, where in his commentary the word blood is used. So each of these Bible entries or these Bible verses, he has an entry that has the word blood. He has more entries than these, but these are all the entries that contain the word blood at least once. For Adam Clarke. The Bible Knowledge Commentary, blood. Yeah, you can search for all the words, any of the words, the exact phrase, or a regular expression. I'm not sure what this is. I've never done that before. Partial match, synonyms, and case sensitive. So anyway, same with the dictionaries. So instead of searching the dictionary for the word forgiveness, we'll stop it. Where is forgive? Don't tell me that's not in there. There we go. It's bound to be. Oh, I see. That entry is forgive, comma, forgiveness. I'm just surprised that forgive isn't in more of the dictionaries. Sorry, I get caught up on these things. F-O-R-G. Forgiveness. That's weird. Anyway, I found that I must have been spelling it wrong or not paying attention or going too fast. So anyway, so you can search which dictionaries have an entry for forgiveness, like an official entry. You can likewise search the entries themselves, like literally, thus, exhibit, his, for forgive. And these are all the entries in the Hastings Dictionary that have forgive in them. So this is the dictionary for Jesus Christ. This is the dictionary entry for Hastings under Jesus Christ. And it says, has the word forgive. And here's some way to highlight it. Wherever it is. I think I saw one. There we go. I picked the long one. There we go. It's an easy to find one. So the entry is miracles. So if we go to Hastings and miracles, we can also, by the way, search for other dictionaries. Oh, that's interesting. So if you search Strong's for forgive, it should give you all the Hebrew and Greek words that somehow mean forgive. That's kind of a backwards way of searching. That's pretty cool. So we're going to go to Hastings, if my memory serves, and we're going to go to miracles. And we should see the word forgive somewhere early on. But because we searched for it. Let me see. Miracles. Second paragraph. His claim. He did not highly esteem, and his claim. second paragraph. He did not highly esteem. May have to word backwards. Second paragraph starts with regarding. I know this may be boring, but I find it interesting. Miracles. Regarding. Okay, it's about halfway through the second paragraph. The cure, the miracles, he did not highly esteem. The miracles are not evident. Okay, here. It's right. He did not highly esteem. Forgive, right there. So, anyway. So you're seeing you're searching an entry. Or you're searching all entries that have the word forgive in the content of the comments for that entry, which happens to be miracles here, as opposed to just searching for forgiveness here, which is be a heading of forgiveness. It's pretty cool. So you can do all kinds of stuff. So eSword does so much that it's hard to keep up with all that you can do. You can highlight dictionary entries, I guess, if you ever search for miracles and you want to be sure that, hey, I know forgiveness. I know the word forgive shows up here somewhere, so I'm going to find it again, even though my YouTube audience is going to say, what's this guy doing? And I'm going to highlight it so I'll never forget that it's there. You can highlight it whatever color you want. So there. And you can highlight the Bible. If you want to unhighlight something, you just highlight it in white. This is gray, so that when I read early in the morning, it doesn't blind me. You can change under options and like maybe text colors. You can change the background. Default is white. But that will blind you early in the morning. Alright, so I'm going to stop here. We're at 22 minutes. We'll just kind of carry on next time. Hopefully I'll do another one pretty soon. Hope this is helpful. If you like it so far and you don't want to pay for something like Logos, which is great. I have friends who use Logos. Anyway, if you want to use eSword, just download it and start clicking around. You'll figure it out eventually. It has so many features that it'll take you a long time to figure them all out. But if you want to do something, you might just search for it on Google or the eSword forums, or watch my videos. Hopefully I'll make another one pretty soon, as I said. So have a super day, all of you. God bless you.